So I'm guessing that you clicked on this video because you're in a bit of a rut, and it probably happened somewhere after starting to play the guitar and learning this solo. Fear not though, because in this lesson we're going to talk about how you can solo with confidence over any song and any key with just a little bit of practice. My name is Jesse. Subscribe, as always. What he said. This is a 5-Minute Monday. Let's get into it. So in this lesson, we're going to start looking at how you can play through chord changes and not just playing the pentatonic box that you know. That works some of the time, but gets pretty old pretty quickly. So to do this today, we're going to focus on the third interval of each chord that we're playing. Now, without getting too theoretical, all I mean by the third is, let's say we're in the key of C. If I go up the major scale, C, D, E, there's my major third. So that interval is a major third. If I wanted a minor third, I'm just going to take that major third and go half a step down. So that would be a C with a minor third. So why are we focusing on thirds for this lesson? In my opinion, the third is the safest note that you can always hit over any chord, whether it's major or minor or has crazy extensions, and it's going to sound good no matter what. Sometimes if you hit the root note, sometimes if you hit the fifth or any of the extensions, it doesn't really clearly define to the listener that you knew what you were doing. Let me show you what I mean. If I take a C chord like this, and then go to G, and then go to F, listen to what happens if I play just the fifths of each chord. That did not sound like. All right, so let's look at a really practical way that we can find thirds in typical chord voicings, and then we'll talk about how we can build some solo phrases using those chord tones. Hey, so I don't know about you, but when I watch other YouTube videos, sometimes I don't subscribe. But it is the easiest way that you can help me if you've made it this far into the video. Also, I just want to say that I offer private lessons over Zoom, and if you want more information about that, shoot me an email at jesseglickmusic@gmail.com. I'd be stoked to work with you. Let's get back to the video though. So we're going to use two different chord shapes today. We'll use the E shape of a bar chord. So this is just your regular bar chord shape. So let's take a G chord. If it's a major chord, my third's always going to be where my middle finger is, so that's going to be this note here. And then here's my root. If it were minor, again, I just take that note and bring it down half a step. So there would be my minor third. And this shape is movable, so if I went to C major, that's my major third, that's my minor third. So if a song has the chords that goes F major to C to G, which this intro song did, I can follow just the thirds with the root note. Check it out. So here's the third with F, to the third of C, to the third of G. Sounds pretty good already, but let's take it to another chord shape. So this time I'll take my A-shaped bar chord. So instead, an F chord would look like this. So the third in this chord, also called the 10th, same note, is going to be right here on the B string, covered by my ring finger. And then here's my root. So that is a major third. If I wanted minor third, again, take that note, bring it down half a step. So if I have F to C to G, I could just do it with thirds. So at this point, you might be thinking, all right, I got my thirds down, but how am I going to use this in a solo? Check this out. We're going to take that chord progression I played in the intro. So it was F to C to G. To start, we're in the key of C major. So we're going to take our C major pentatonic scale, also known as A minor, this scale shape. So we're going to take that scale shape and build a really simple phrase. I'm talking 4 notes. So maybe something like this. That's going to be my phrase. Every time I end that phrase, I'm going to land on the third of the chord that goes by. So if we start on F, I'll start my phrase. Next chord is C. Next chord is G. And then play some pentatonic. And now I'll use the thirds on the other string. Again, same phrase. What if it went to A minor? Well, I'll find the minor third of A. Back to F. So you don't even need to memorize what note makes the third of each of these chords. You can just rely on what it looks like and what the shapes of the chords are to find it. So if you play this bar chord, it's under your middle finger. If you play this bar chord, it's going to be under your ring finger. So I'm going to give you one more example to show you how useful this really is. I'm going to build a different phrase. Same scale though, just my C major pentatonic. Maybe this time my phrase will sound like this. So that's going to be my phrase, and then I'm going to land on the third of each chord. So if we have F major, now we go to C, to G. Now I'll do it in the other chord shapes. So use these chord tones to your advantage. And once you get comfortable with your thirds, first of all, figure out how to find them on every string, but then start playing with other chord tones. Chords have the root and the fifth and some extensions, so see what extensions sound good to your ear. At the end of the day, there's no rules. The thirds are just a good map for someone who's trying to get out of the pentatonic rut and play something a little bit more melodic. But there's so much more to do and so much more to explore. I'm doing these 5-minute Monday videos every single Monday totally for free, so if you enjoyed what you saw, like the video, comment if there's something else you want to learn in the future. I'm always open to suggestion. And like I said earlier, if you want more information about private lessons, shoot me an email at jesseglickmusic@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram right here. For now though, enjoy those thirds. My name's Jesse Glick. That was a 5-minute Monday, and I'll see you in the next one.